Have you ever just settled into bed, ready for a good night's sleep, when suddenly your heart does a little flip-flop? It feels like it skips a beat, then maybe starts racing for a few seconds. It can be pretty unsettling, right? You start wondering, is something wrong? Should I be worried? Well, take a deep breath. In most cases, what you're experiencing is a completely normal physiological response. It's not a sign of a major problem, but rather your body's fascinating way of adjusting to a simple change: gravity. Let's break down what's happening. All day long, you're upright, standing, sitting, walking around. Your circulatory system works against gravity to pump blood efficiently from your feet all the way up to your head. Your heart, blood vessels, and even the muscles in your legs are all part of this incredible system, keeping everything flowing just right. But the moment you lie down, the game changes. Gravity's pull is no longer straight down from your head to your toes. Instead, it's spread evenly across your body. This causes a significant shift in your blood volume. Blood that was pooled in your lower body, thanks to gravity, is now free to redistribute more evenly. A larger volume of blood flows back towards your chest and heart. This is called venous return, and it increases when you're horizontal. This increased blood volume in your chest cavity puts a little more pressure on your heart and the major blood vessels surrounding it. Your heart, being the smart and adaptive organ it is, has to adjust. It might stretch a bit more to accommodate the extra blood, and its electrical signaling can get a little excited. This is often when you feel that flutter, or what doctors call a palpitation. It's your heart recalibrating its rhythm to handle the new fluid dynamics. It's basically saying, okay, new position, new blood flow, let me just adjust my settings for a moment. Now, there's another key player in this story, the vagus nerve. This is one of the longest and most important nerves in your body, acting like a superhighway of information between your brain and many of your internal organs, including your heart. The vagus nerve is a major part of the parasympathetic nervous system, which is often called the rest and digest system. It helps slow your heart rate down, promoting relaxation. When you lie down and that blood volume shifts, it can stimulate the vagus nerve. Sometimes this stimulation is a bit erratic. The nerve might overreact, causing a brief, sudden change in your heart rate. It might slow it down abruptly for a beat, which you perceive as a skipped beat, and then your body's backup system kicks in to speed it up again, which you feel as a race or a flutter. It's like a little miscommunication in the control room as the system switches to nighttime mode. So, it's a combination of physics, the redistribution of blood, and neurobiology, the reaction of your vagus nerve. But you might be thinking, this doesn't happen every single night. Why is it worse sometimes? That's a great question, and the answer often lies in your daily habits and lifestyle factors. Let's talk about some of the common culprits that can amplify these heart flutters. First up is caffeine, that afternoon coffee or energy drink you had. Caffeine is a stimulant. It makes your heart muscle more excitable and can interfere with the normal electrical signals. When you combine the stimulating effects of caffeine with the natural physiological shift that happens when you lie down, you've got a perfect recipe for palpitations. This is why a common piece of advice is to cut off all caffeine after 2 p.m. It gives your body plenty of time to metabolize it before you hit the hay. Next is dehydration. Your blood is mostly water. When you're dehydrated, your blood volume decreases and its consistency becomes thicker. This makes your heart have to work harder to pump it around your body. Dehydration also throws off your electrolyte balance, which is crucial for proper nerve and muscle function. And your heart is a giant muscle run by electrical nerve impulses. When you're dehydrated and you lie down, the already stressed system is more likely to have a little hiccup. And speaking of electrolytes, this is a big one. Electrolytes are minerals like potassium, magnesium, sodium, and calcium. They carry an electric charge and are absolutely essential for regulating your heartbeat. An imbalance, especially low levels of potassium or magnesium, can make the heart's electrical system unstable and prone to palpitations. Many of us don't get enough of these minerals in our diet. Poor diet, excessive sweating from a workout without rehydrating properly, or even certain medications can lead to an electrolyte imbalance. Another surprising factor: anxiety and stress. When you're stressed, your body is flooded with hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. This is your fight or flight response. These hormones make your heart beat faster and more forcefully. If you get into bed with your mind racing, worrying about work, finances, or your to-do list, your body is still in that high alert state. Lying down quietly removes all the other distractions, making you hyper-aware of your own bodily sensations. That normal little flutter suddenly feels like a giant thud, because your nervous system is already on edge. Your brain interprets it as a threat, which causes more anxiety, which causes more palpitations, a classic feedback loop. Even your posture during the day can play a role. If you spend all day hunched over a desk, your chest muscles can become tight, and your diaphragm might not move as freely. This can put subtle pressure on the chest cavity and the vagus nerve. When you finally lie down and try to relax, the release of that tension can sometimes trigger a response from the nerve. So, what can you do about it? The good news is, there are several simple, effective strategies you can try. First, try sleeping with your head and chest slightly elevated. You can use an extra pillow or a wedge pillow. This creates a gentle slope, so the blood redistribution isn't as sudden or dramatic. It lessens the load on your heart and can prevent that initial jolt. Next, focus on hydration, but be smart about it. Don't chug a huge glass of water right before bed, or you'll be up all night running to the bathroom. Instead, sip water consistently throughout the day. Make sure you're well hydrated long before you even think about sleep. Maybe add an electrolyte powder to your water in the afternoon, especially if you've exercised or if it's a hot day. Foods rich in potassium, like bananas, avocados, and sweet potatoes, and magnesium, like leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, can also be incredibly helpful. As we mentioned, be mindful of your caffeine intake. For some people who are very sensitive, even 1 cup of coffee in the morning can be enough to cause issues at night. Experiment and see what your personal tolerance is. Now, for a powerful in-the-moment tool, breathing exercises. When you feel that flutter, don't panic. Instead, try a simple vagal nerve stabilizing technique. A great one is the 5-7 breath. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 5, feeling your belly expand. Then exhale even more slowly through your mouth or nose for a count of 7. The long exhale is key here. It directly stimulates the vagus nerve and tells your nervous system to calm down. Repeat this 5 to 10 times. You'll be amazed at how quickly it can stabilize your heart rhythm and soothe your anxiety. Finally, create a relaxing bedtime routine. Turn off screens an hour before bed. The blue light and stimulating content can keep your brain wired. Instead, read a book, listen to calming music, take a warm bath, or do some gentle stretching. This helps transition your body and mind from the stress of the day into a state of rest, making your nervous system less likely to overreact when you lie down. It's important to remember that for the vast majority of people, these occasional flutters are benign. They are your body's quiet messages, telling you it's just adjusting, or that maybe you need a little more water, a little less stress, or a banana. Your heart isn't broken, it's just trying to find its balance in a constantly changing environment. Of course, if these palpitations are happening very frequently, are sustained for long periods, or are accompanied by other symptoms like dizziness, shortness of breath, or chest pain, it is absolutely essential to speak with a doctor to rule out any underlying conditions. But for that common, fleeting flutter as you drift off to sleep, you can now rest a little easier knowing what's likely going on. Understanding the why behind our body's quirks can be incredibly empowering. It turns a moment of worry into a moment of awareness. Thank you for joining us today at Vital Health Daily, where we help you understand your body's quiet messages. If you found this helpful, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more insights into your health. Sleep well.